understand. I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I've come with a message that will change the trajectory of your life. I want you to know something. What's meant for you, what's destined for you, is not running away from you. No, it's racing towards you. You're not chasing it. It's coming after you. And what's been held up, what's been delayed, it's about to catch up to you in ways you could never have imagined. I don't care what the enemy told you. I don't care what doubts have clouded your mind. I've come to tell you that your destiny is on its way. And there's nothing that can stop it. Get ready, because what's meant for you is racing toward you, and the best is yet to come. Divine timing is a powerful, mysterious thing. We often want things to happen on our own schedule, according to our own timeline. We work hard, we hustle, and we pour our energy into striving for our goals. But the truth is, God's plan for us operates on a completely different level, a level that we may not fully understand. He knows exactly when to open doors, when to close them, and when to lead us into a new season of our life. It's not just about waiting, it's about trusting that the timing of everything is orchestrated by a higher power who knows what's best for us. The concept of divine timing is rooted in the understanding that there is a perfect time for everything in your life. God doesn't make mistakes, and his timing is never off. You might feel like things are taking too long, or that your dreams are somehow delayed, but God isn't behind schedule. You're not running out of time, and you're certainly not wasting time. The time that feels like waiting is really just a season of preparation. When the moment arrives, you'll realize that it couldn't have happened any sooner, and it couldn't have happened any later. That is divine timing at work. You see, we often misunderstand the waiting process. We think that just because we're not seeing immediate results, things are off track. But in reality, divine timing is in full motion even when we can't see it. The things you're waiting for, the blessings that are meant for you, are being prepared in ways you might not even be able to comprehend. Every prayer you've said, every moment of doubt you've overcome, every step you've taken in faith, it's all contributing to the moment when what's meant for you will finally show up. And when it does, you'll realize that everything had to happen exactly the way it did in order for you to be in the position you're in right now. What might feel like setbacks or delays could actually be a part of the bigger plan. When God closes one door, it's because he's protecting you from something or leading you towards something better. You might think you're behind, but he's making sure you're moving exactly as you should be. He's ensuring that everything will align perfectly when the time is right. You are exactly where you need to be, even when it feels like you're standing still. So while we wait, we have to remember that waiting doesn't mean inactivity. Divine timing doesn't mean we just sit around and do nothing. No, it means that we stay in a posture of faith, trusting that God is working behind the scenes. The things that are meant for you are moving towards you. And there's a reason you're in the place you're in right now. Whether you can see it or not, the pieces are being set in motion. The work you're doing today, the patience you're learning, the strength you're building, all of it is contributing to the timing that will bring you to your breakthrough. Trusting divine timing means understanding that you don't have to rush. You don't have to force things to happen before their time. There's a beauty in knowing that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. You'll look back and realize that the wait wasn't wasted. The waiting period was necessary. It was in those moments that you were shaped, refined, and made ready for what's ahead. And in the end, you'll see that the timing couldn't have been more perfect. That's stomach. The idea that your blessings are in motion is one of the most powerful truths to hold on to, especially when life feels stagnant or like you're not moving forward. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day struggles, to feel like you're pushing, and yet the results aren't showing up as you hoped. You might feel like the opportunities you've been waiting for are slipping away, or that everything you've worked for is somehow out of reach. But I want you to hear me clearly today. Your blessings are already in motion. They're not just hanging in the balance, waiting for you to do something. No, God has already set things in motion. The moment He created you, every opportunity, every breakthrough, every success you've been dreaming about, it's already in the process of coming to you. What you need to understand is that blessings are not always about something tangible that you can hold in your hands right now. They're not always about the money or the success or the title you're chasing. Blessings come in many forms. And sometimes the blessing you're waiting for is already working its way towards you, even when you can't see it. It's in the relationships being built behind the scenes, in the doors that are being opened that you don't even know about, in the people you haven't met yet, and in the opportunities that are lining up to intersect with your life. Even when you don't have the full picture, the pieces are falling into place. Think about how many times you've felt like things weren't going according to your plans. You made one move and things seemed to go in the opposite direction. You tried and failed. You lost and had to start over. But in all of that, God was still at work. There was no failure in His plan. There was no setback in His timing. Every step, even the ones that seemed like missteps, were part of the greater picture. And right now, as you sit in that place where you feel like things are at a standstill, I want you to trust that your blessings are still on their way. The moment you were born, God set things into motion that you can't even begin to fathom. The relationships, the experiences, the growth, and the preparation, all of it was a part of the plan that's unfolding. What's meant for you is moving, it's being positioned, it's on its way. It's easy to feel impatient, especially when things aren't happening as quickly as you imagine. But that doesn't mean things aren't in progress. The movement of blessings doesn't always look like immediate action. Sometimes it's quiet, it's unseen. But that doesn't mean it isn't working. Trust in the process. Trust that things are happening in ways you might not understand, but they are happening nonetheless. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach are being set up for you right now. People who will open doors for you, who will see your potential and give you the chance you've been waiting for, are already being placed along your path. And when the time is right, those blessings will arrive at your doorstep in a way that will amaze you. So don't get discouraged by what you can't see today. Don't measure the progress of your life by immediate results or quick fixes. The blessings are in motion, working behind the scenes, aligning perfectly so that when they arrive, they will be exactly what you need. It's not about how fast things move or how quickly you see results. It's about knowing that your breakthrough is on its way, even if it's still a little bit further down the road. And when it comes, you'll realize that every moment of waiting, every moment of patience was part of the preparation for what's to come. You're closer than you think. Your blessings are coming. Trust that the movement is happening, even if you can't see it just yet. The waiting period is one of the most challenging times in our lives, especially when it feels like nothing is happening and everything is at a standstill. When we pray, when we work, when we pour our hearts into our dreams, we expect results to follow. We expect things to move, to shift, to come to fruition quickly. And when they don't, it's easy to feel disheartened or frustrated. But the waiting is never a waste. In fact, it's in the waited that God is doing some of His most important work in us. This time isn't a gap between moments of success. It's a moment of preparation, growth, and refinement. Waiting doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It doesn't mean that God is ignoring you or that your prayers are unheard. Far from it. The waiting period is one of the most crucial times in our lives. During this time, we're being shaped in ways we can't yet understand. We're being molded, purified, and prepared for the blessings that are on their way. Every moment of waiting is not just time passing, it's an opportunity for you to grow stronger in faith, to sharpen your character, and to develop qualities that you'll need when the blessings arrive. You see, when God gives us something, He's not just giving us a gift, He's preparing us to handle it, to steward it, and to use it for His glory. Without the waiting period, we wouldn't be ready for what's coming. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed, it takes time for that seed to grow into something beautiful. You can't rush the process. You can't force a tree to grow faster or a flower to bloom earlier than it's meant to. The soil needs to be nourished. The roots need to take hold, and the seed needs to be given time to grow at its own pace. If you try to hurry the process, you'll only harm the plant. The same is true in our lives. The waiting period is the time in which our roots are being established, our character is being strengthened, and our foundation is being laid. It's in this time that we're being prepared for what we're about to receive. Without it, we wouldn't be able to handle the fullness of the blessings that God has set aside for us. And it's not just about becoming ready in the sense of skill or ability. Waiting allows us to develop patience, to trust in the process, and to learn the importance of timing. You might not understand why things are taking so long, but God sees what you can't see. He knows that if you receive something too early, you might not appreciate it. You might not be equipped to handle the responsibility, or you might even squander it. But when the time is right, when you've gone through the waiting and the growing, you'll be in a position where you can receive what He has for you with both hands wide open. It won't overwhelm you. It won't feel too big or too heavy. You'll be able to walk into the blessing with confidence, knowing that it's the perfect time for it to arrive. And while you wait, you're not just waiting for your blessing. You're also becoming the person who will fully appreciate it when it comes. Waiting teaches us gratitude, humility, and dependence on God. It teaches us that we are not in control, but that we serve a God who is. The waiting period, though uncomfortable and sometimes painful, is a reminder that it's not about us doing all the work. It's about God working in us, shaping us, and preparing us for the future. And let's not forget that waiting isn't about just enduring passively. It's an act of waiting. It's about trusting while you wait, praying while you wait, praising while you wait. It's about knowing that every moment of waiting is another opportunity to grow in trust, in faith, and in peace. You're not just twiddling your thumbs, waiting for something to happen. You are actively participating in your own growth, in your own development. You're choosing to believe even when you can't see the end result yet. You're choosing to hope even when the path seems uncertain. And that kind of waiting, filled with faith and expectation, is what makes all the difference. So even when it seems like nothing is happening, know this: your waiting is never wasted. Every second of it is working in your favor. God is preparing you, shaping you, and positioning you for what's to come. And when your blessings finally arrive, you'll look back at the waiting and realize that it was all a part of the process, a part of what made you ready to receive what was meant for you. Your waiting is not just a period of time. It is a divine process of becoming, of transforming, and of being prepared for the greatness that is on the horizon. Trust in that process and know that it's all leading you exactly where you need to be. The struggles you face in life, though difficult and at times overwhelming, are not random or without purpose. Every challenge, every obstacle, every trial you encounter is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for something greater than you could ever imagine. It's hard to see this when you're in the middle of the struggle, when the weight of the burden feels like it's too much to bear. But the truth is that every single hardship, is working for your good. Struggles aren't meant to break you. They're meant to build you. They are the fire that refines the gold. The process that turns raw material into something beautiful. When you face hardship, it can feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. You feel stuck, as if progress is being halted at every turn. But what if I told you that this very struggle is the thing that is pushing you closer to your destiny? What if I told you that each struggle is preparing you for the blessings that are racing toward you, even when you can't see them yet? Every setback, every hardship, every time you've been knocked down, it's all part of the process that is refining you for what's ahead. The person you are becoming through these challenges is the person who will be ready to embrace the greatness. Think about it. Without the pressure, the raw material stays unchanged. Without the resistance, the strength needed for the journey isn't developed. God allows these struggles to enter our lives, not as punishment, but as a means of growth. When we are pressed, we are forced to dig deep within ourselves and find strength we didn't even know we had. It's in these moments of difficulty that we realize how much resilience, courage, and faith we possess. The struggles you're going through are not just obstacles to overcome. They are the very tools that are strengthening your character, sharpening your abilities, and building the foundation you need to support the blessings that are on their way. What's important to remember is that God doesn't waste any experience. He doesn't allow anything in our lives to happen without purpose. The struggles you face today are shaping your tomorrow. The courage you find to keep moving even when you feel like giving up is the same courage that will carry you through the next phase of your journey. And when you look back on these moments, you'll realize that the challenges didn't break you, they made you strong. They built resilience in you. They taught you lessons you wouldn't have learned any other way. It's easy to look at someone else's life from the outside and think that they have it easy, that they've had it smooth sailing while you've been dealt a difficult hand. But everyone has their own struggles, their own battles to fight. And what you may not realize is that the struggles that seem to have slowed you down are actually the ones that have been shaping you into a person who will be able to handle the success that's coming your way. The weight that you're carrying now is building the strength you need to carry even more in the future. God doesn't give you what you can't handle. What you may think of as a burden now is simply preparation for something much greater that's waiting for you. These struggles are also revealing to you the things you need to change. They are the opportunities for you to refine your character. Through the pain, through the hardship, you're being shown areas in your life where you need to grow, where you need to become more patient, more forgiving, more trusting in God's plan. The struggles are pushing you toward growth in a way that you couldn't achieve without them. You are being molded, you are being shaped into the person who is strong enough to handle the blessings that will be bestowed upon you. The hardships teach you to rely less on your own understanding and more on God's wisdom. They teach you to trust His timing, even when it doesn't match your own. And when you finally step into the blessing that is waiting for you, you will look back and see that these struggles were not obstacles. They were stepping stones. They were the moments that tested you, stretched you, and ultimately transformed you. The strength you have gained through these struggles will be the very strength that allows you to handle the blessings when they arrive. You won't just be able to appreciate them, you'll be able to manage them, to steward them well, to make the most of every opportunity because you've been refined in the fire. The struggle is not the end of your story. It is just a chapter in the greater narrative of your life. It is in the struggle that you find the resilience to keep going, the faith to trust in the unseen, and the strength to face what's ahead. And when the blessings come, when the breakthroughs arrive, you'll realize that the struggle was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you for the abundance that is racing toward you. when life feels like you're stuck in a waiting room, just sitting there watching the clock tick. It's easy to become discouraged. You may have put in the work, you've prayed, you've stayed faithful, yet the progress doesn't seem to come as quickly as you hoped. The moments of stillness, of feeling like you're not moving forward, can create a sense of impatience. But I want to tell you this, just because you can't see movement, sometimes the greatest progress happens when you can't visibly track it. You see, what's meant for you is racing toward you, and the key to receiving it is to keep moving forward even when you can't see the finish line. Often we find ourselves waiting for something to change before we take the next step. We wait for the perfect opportunity, the right moment, or the perfect set of circumstances. But faith doesn't operate like that. Faith moves before it sees. Faith steps forward in trust, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's easy to get paralyzed by uncertainty, to become trapped by doubt and fear, waiting for everything to fall into place before we take action. But the truth is, while you wait for everything to be perfect, life is still moving forward, and you need to be moving with it. You don't need all the answers to take the next step. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just the next step in front of you. And with each step you take, you get closer to what's meant for you. Moving forward doesn't mean waiting for a massive breakthrough or a sign from the heavens. It's about making progress, no matter how small, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Even the smallest action can lead to greater things. You might feel like you're not making any progress, but that doesn't mean you're not. Every day you keep moving, even if it's just one small step forward, you are advancing toward your destiny. Every effort you make, no matter how small it may seem, is one more step closer to the blessings that are racing toward you. Even when you can't see it, your actions are putting things into motion, setting things in motion that you can't always perceive. You see, what often holds people back from moving forward is fear. The fear of failure, the fear of making the wrong choice, the fear of rejection. But the greatest barrier to progress is not the obstacles in front of you. It's the hesitation that comes from the fear within you. Fear will keep you stuck in the same place, paralyzed by what might happen if things don't go according to plan. But faith calls you to move in spite of fear. Faith calls you to step forward even when you're unsure of the outcome. Faith is the thing that propels you forward, even when you don't have all the details. The road ahead may be uncertain, but you can trust that each step of faith takes you closer to your purpose. One of the most powerful things you can do while waiting for what's meant for you is to keep doing what you can with what you have where you are. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you take action. Sometimes we get so caught up in waiting for the perfect opportunity or the perfect timing that we overlook the opportunities that are right in front of us. Moving forward isn't always about grand, sweeping changes. It's about making consistent, small efforts. The compound effect of taking action, even when things seem small or insignificant, is far greater than waiting for something that might never come. Progress doesn't always show up as a big leap. Sometimes it's the consistent, quiet steps that move you forward more than anything else. When you take action, even in the smallest form, you begin to change the environment around you. Moving forward allows God to work in ways that can't happen when you're stagnant. When you stay where you are out of fear or uncertainty, you limit the opportunities for growth. But when you move forward, even if you don't have all the answers, you open doors. You put yourself in a position to receive what's coming your way. What's meant for you is racing toward you, but it will meet you at the intersection of your faith and your action. It's not just about waiting for it to come to you. It's about being actively engaged, about staying in motion and putting in the effort. When you move, you allow God to work through you, and move things in your favor. And remember, it's not about making giant leaps all at once. Moving forward doesn't always mean taking huge, bold steps. Sometimes it's just about consistency. It's about showing up every day even when things don't seem to be going your way. It's about taking the next small step even when the big picture seems unclear. Every time you take a step forward, you're getting closer to the moment when everything will fall into place. And the closer you get, the more you'll see how all the pieces fit together. What seemed like a struggle, what seemed like a delay, will one day be seen as a part of God's perfect plan, working in ways you couldn't have predicted. So as you wait for what's meant for you, don't let the stillness fool you. Don't let the silence convince you that nothing is happening. Keep moving forward. Keep taking those small steps. And trust that as you keep moving, your blessings are racing toward you, ready to meet you at the perfect moment. Sometimes we make the mistake of focusing so much on the things we don't have that we forget to recognize the blessings we already possess. We get consumed by what we think we're lacking, whether it's the money, the relationship, the career, or the recognition, and we overlook the countless gifts and opportunities that are already in our lives. But the truth is, the blessings you've been waiting for have already started showing up in your life in various forms. They may not look like you expected, but they are there. And it's often when we begin to shift our perspective and see things through a lens of gratitude that we unlock the fullness of what's meant for us. Take a moment to reflect on where you are right now. Think about the people who have walked into your life, the lessons you've learned, the resources you have access to, and the strength you've gained. It's easy to get lost in the desire for more, but often it's the recognition of what you already have that propels you into the next phase of your journey. When you can learn to appreciate the present, to be thankful for what you already have, you open the door for more blessings to flow into your life. It's as if gratitude acts as a magnet for the things that are meant for you. When you start seeing your current circumstances, even the difficult ones, as blessings in disguise, your whole perspective begins to shift. You start to realize that what you need isn't always far off in the distance. It's already here, right in front of you. There are times when we feel like we need something big to happen, something life-changing, to validate that our lives have purpose. We wait for that breakthrough, that moment when everything will fall into place. But the truth is that most of the time what we've been waiting for is already at work within us. It's the growth that's taking place in the silence, the lessons learned in the trials and the small moments of progress that accumulate over time. That connection. I want your blessings don't always come in the form of dramatic changes or big, flashy events. Sometimes they come in quiet, subtle ways. Through a new opportunity that arises unexpectedly, through a conversation that shifts your perspective, or through an act of kindness from someone that reminds you of the goodness in the world. These moments, though small, are signs that what's meant for you is already in motion. If you take a moment to look closely, you'll see that God has already been preparing you for what's ahead. Your talents, your abilities, your circumstances, even your struggles, everything in your life has been a stepping stone leading you to this moment. Often we think that we're just biding our time, waiting for something major to happen. But what if the real blessing is in the process itself? What if the challenge you're facing right now, the relationship that's been difficult, or the job that doesn't feel perfect, is actually a part of the plan that's preparing you for the blessings to come? It's easy to get caught up in wanting everything to be perfect, but sometimes the blessings you're looking for are found in the imperfections, the growth, and the lessons you're learning along the way. So many of us overlook the beauty of the present moment because we're so focused on the future. We spend so much time wondering when things will change, when we'll get the promotion, the relationship, or the success we long for, that we miss out on the incredible things that are already happening. When we shift our focus from what we don't have to what we do have, we unlock the potential of the moment. Every day, you're given a new opportunity to see the blessings in your life. Every conversation, every experience, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. It's not about waiting for a grand, earth-shattering event. It's about realizing that the blessings you need are already present in the little things. If you start to embrace the present, you'll notice that the things you thought you were missing out on are already being added to your life. They may not always come in the form you expected, but they come in the way that's best for you. The person you need to meet, the connection you need to make, the resource you need, it's all being placed in your life at the right time, in the right way. All that you need to fulfill your purpose is already within reach, already within your grasp. It's just a matter of recognizing it and being open to receiving it. You don't have to wait for a big breakthrough or a dramatic change. The blessings that are meant for you are already in motion, and they will meet you at the right time. But they won't come until you begin to recognize what you already have. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to what's to come. When you start to acknowledge the blessings already in your life, you open yourself up to receive even more. And when the bigger blessings arrive, you will be in a position to appreciate them fully because you've learned the art of being present, of being grateful for what you already have, and of trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way. There's a powerful truth about timing that we often fail to grasp when we're in the midst of our struggles and desires. We want things to happen now. We want our breakthroughs to come immediately. And the feeling of being in a waiting period can be incredibly frustrating. But what if the very timing of your life, the delays, the detours, and the waiting was part of a greater plan? What if everything you're going through right now, the way it seems like things are moving at a crawl or even coming to a halt, is leading you to the exact moment you're meant to step into your purpose and receive your blessings? Sometimes we're so caught up in our own plans that we forget the divine timing behind everything. We often think we know what's best, that we know when things should happen, and we push ourselves to try and make things fit into our own timelines. But God sees the bigger picture. He knows the right time for everything. The moment you think you're ready, you might not be. And this could be a difficult thing to accept because we feel like we're doing everything right. We pray, we work hard, we do our part, but the results don't come when we expect them. Yet this is where faith comes in. It's in these moments of waiting that God is working in ways you can't see. He's aligning things, shifting people into place, and preparing the perfect set of circumstances for you to walk into. Sometimes we feel like we missed our opportunity or that the door is closed forever. We look around and see others advancing, moving forward, achieving things, and we wonder if we've missed our chance. But just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it won't happen. The timing might be different than you imagine, but it is still perfectly orchestrated. There are moments in life when what you desire is coming toward you, but you have to trust that God's timing is perfect. There's a season for everything under the sun, and if you've been faithful in doing the work, there will come a time when the doors open wide and you will step into everything you've been waiting for. There's also the idea that timing isn't just about when things happen, but about who you're becoming during the wait. Every delay is a lesson. Every pause in the process is an opportunity for growth. It's easy to see the delay as a failure, as something standing in your way, but it's actually part of the process of transformation. The growth you experience in the waiting room of life is essential for the purpose that is ahead of you. You may think you're ready for the next chapter, but God knows that there's something inside of you that needs further development. And while you're waiting, He's working on you, making you stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling what's coming next. The waiting period is not a time of inactivity. It's a time of preparation, a time when your character is being built, when your patience is being tested, and when your faith is being stretched. And then when the time is right, the breakthrough comes, often when you least expect it. You've probably heard stories of people who've had doors open to them at the most unlikely moments. People who thought their opportunity had passed, only to find that God was simply waiting for the right time to open that door wide. The moment you thought was a setback, a failure, a closed door, was actually God's way of protecting you, guiding you, and aligning you for something bigger than you could have imagined. In fact, many times, the delay is not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of others around you. Sometimes God's timing isn't just about you. It's about the people He's going to bring into your life along the way, or the way He's going to use your story to inspire others. He's moving pieces around that you might not even see yet, orchestrating events and interactions that will come together in perfect harmony when the time is right. The people, the resources, the connections, all of that is being aligned behind the scenes. And your waiting is part of making sure that you are in the right place at the right time to meet those people and have those opportunities. When the timing aligns, everything will fall into place as it should, and you'll look back and realize that the waiting period wasn't wasted. It was the most important part of the process. So instead of getting frustrated, instead of feeling like you've been forgotten or overlooked, try to see the timing through the lens of faith. Trust that what is meant for you is coming at the exact moment it should. Trust that every season, every delay, and every detour is part of the plan. What's meant for you will never be too late, and it will never be too early. It will arrive at the perfect time. And when it does, you'll look back and be amazed at how everything had to unfold exactly as it did in order to bring you to that moment. You'll see that the delays, the pauses, and the times you thought you were stuck were actually part of God's perfect timing, positioning you for everything He has in store for you. There's a deep, profound truth that many of us often overlook when we're walking through our own individual journeys. The obstacles and challenges you're facing right now are not the end of your story. They are simply part of the narrative that is still unfolding. In the middle of the struggle, it can feel like nothing will ever change. Like you'll never see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the very fact that you're still standing, still pressing forward, means that something is happening within you that's preparing you for the breakthrough that's just around the corner. What you are enduring today is not just a setback. It is the very thing that is pushing you toward the fulfillment of your purpose. When you're in the midst of difficulty, it can seem overwhelming, like you're trapped in a cycle of never-ending challenges. But often, what feels like the greatest burden is actually the greatest blessing in disguise. It's easy to look at your circumstances and think that they're preventing you from moving forward. But what if those very challenges are the tools that are refining you, shaping you, and building the strength you'll need to embrace the blessings that are racing towards you? The pain you're experiencing now is temporary, but the growth it's bringing you is eternal. Each challenge is an opportunity to develop deeper resilience, more patience, and a greater sense of faith. We often look at other people's lives and think they have it all together, that they're living in a place of ease and success. But if we were to peel back the layers of their lives, we'd find that they too have been through their own share of trials, of moments where they wondered if they'd ever make it through. The difference between those who overcome and those who are overwhelmed lies not in the absence of struggle, but in how they respond to it. Every person who has achieved something great, who has made it to the other side of their difficulties, has learned to press on even when it felt impossible. They've realized that the struggle isn't the end, it's just part of the process. When you start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones, your perspective changes. You begin to understand that every trial, every setback, every moment of difficulty is working for your good. It's easy to get bogged down in the negative emotions that come with hardship. It's easy to give in to doubt and fear. But when you learn to shift your perspective, to see the obstacles as opportunities, you become empowered. You realize that the storm you're facing is not meant to drown you. It's meant to refine you. You may not be able to see it in the moment, but with time, you will look back and see how these obstacles have made you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the future that is racing toward you. There is something incredibly powerful about perseverance. The people who achieve great things aren't always the most talented or the most gifted. They are often the ones who refuse to give up, the ones who kept going when everything seemed to be against them, the ones who pressed on even when they felt like they couldn't go another step. And when you learn to persevere in the face of adversity, you unlock a power within you that you didn't know existed. You start to realize that there is more strength in you than you could have ever imagined. The challenges you face are not meant to break you. They are meant to reveal the greatness within you that was always there, waiting to be tapped into. And through it all, you are not alone. The same force that created the universe, that set the stars in motion, is with you every step of the way. You may not always feel it, but God is working in the background, orchestrating every moment of your life to bring you to the place where you will step into your full potential. He sees the strength in you that you may not even recognize yet. And He is using every trial, every challenge to bring that strength to the surface. You may feel like you're walking this journey by yourself, but you are never truly alone. There is a divine hand guiding you, protecting you, and leading you toward the breakthrough that is waiting for you on the other side of your struggle. The breakthrough that's coming is not just about the material things, the success, the recognition, the rewards. It's about the transformation that happens within you as you navigate the obstacles and rise above them. Every trial, every setback, every challenge is building your character, shaping your destiny, and preparing you for the blessings that are racing towards you. The strength you gain through overcoming the difficulties of today will be the strength that sustains you and the blessings of tomorrow. When you are facing difficult times, remember that the obstacles you're dealing with right now are not the final chapter in your story. They are simply part of the process that is leading you towards your destiny. The storm you are weathering is not the end of the road. It's just a part of the journey. Keep moving forward, keep trusting, keep believing, because what's meant for you is racing toward you. And every step you take, even in the midst of the struggle, is getting you closer to the breakthrough that will change everything. There are moments in life when you're faced with a choice to keep going or to give up. It's in these moments when the path seems unclear and the weight of your circumstances feels unbearable that your true strength is tested. But what if I told you that the times when you feel like giving up the most are actually the moments when you're on the verge of your breakthrough? You see, we often think that our hardest struggles are a sign that something is wrong, that we're doing something wrong, or that maybe we're not meant for what we're pursuing. But the truth is, the greatest victories often come right after the hardest battles. The road might be tough, but it's those tough moments that are the very things that prepare you to receive the incredible blessings that are coming your way. You feel like quitting. When the obstacles seem too great and the struggle too much to bear, it's important to remember that it's not the end. That heavy feeling you're experiencing, that frustration, that sense of defeat, is often the precursor to a new chapter, a new season of growth and breakthrough. You are being stretched, challenged, and refined in ways that you can't always see in the moment. And this is the point where most people give up, right before the breakthrough. They walk away just before things start to fall into place, just before everything aligns, just before what's meant for them arrives. The truth is that most things worth having don't come easily. The things that truly make an impact in your life, the things that have value, are the things you've fought for, the things you've struggled through, the things you've invested time, energy, and effort into. The easy path might seem attractive at first, but it's the difficult path, the one full of obstacles and setbacks, that molds you into the person you need to become to truly appreciate and handle the blessings that are meant for you. When you're in the midst of struggle, it may feel like you're failing, but what you don't realize is that you're actually succeeding. You're learning, you're growing, and you're becoming stronger with each obstacle you overcome. There's a kind of resilience that's born out of struggle. It's the ability to keep going when the road gets tough, to stand firm when the winds of life threaten to knock you down. Every time you push through a challenge, you build more resilience. Every time you choose to keep going, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than you once thought. And this resilience is what will carry you through the next phase of your journey, what will sustain you when things get tough again. You'll no longer see obstacles as signs of defeat, but as opportunities for growth. You'll see challenges as tests, moments that will prove to you just how much you can endure, just how much strength you have within you. There's a saying that goes, the darkest hour is just before the dawn. It means that when things seem the hardest, when it feels like everything is falling apart, it's often the moment right before everything starts to fall into place. The night may seem long, but the dawn always comes. And when it does, it brings light, clarity, and a new beginning. The struggle you're facing right now is preparing you for the clarity that's coming. It's preparing you for the breakthrough, the opportunity, the blessing that is on its way. But you have to keep going. You have to trust that even when it feels like you're getting nowhere, every step you take is bringing you closer to what's meant for you. You see, the journey you're on is not just about the destination, it's about who you become along the way. Every hardship, every challenge, every moment of doubt is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more capable person. The struggle is not a sign that you're on the wrong path, it's a sign that you are on the path that is designed to build you, to prepare you for what's to come. The process of overcoming obstacles is what makes the victory so much sweeter. The struggle is not something to fear or avoid, but something to embrace, because it's through the struggle that you learn the lessons you need to learn. And it's through the struggle that you build the strength you need to handle the blessings that are racing toward you. It's also important to recognize that in those moments of feeling like giving up, when you want to walk away, you are not alone. It's easy to feel isolated when you're facing difficulties, but in reality, you are surrounded by support, by people who believe in you, and by a force greater than yourself that is guiding you through. You may not always feel it, but God's hand is upon you, and He is walking with you through every challenge. Even when you feel like you can't go any further, He is there carrying you through the storm, providing you with the strength you need to take the next step. You may feel weak, but He makes you strong. You may feel like you're on your own, but you are never truly alone. So when you feel like giving up, remember this: your breakthrough is closer than you think. The challenge you're facing is not the end. It is simply the final test before you receive what's meant for you. Don't let the momentary frustration, the fleeting doubt, or the temporary struggle convince you that you are not on the right path. Keep moving forward, one step at a time, and trust that what's meant for you is racing towards you, waiting for you to step into it. Every obstacle you overcome is bringing you closer to the person you were meant to become, and every challenge you face is making you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the greatness that is just around the corner. Stay the course. Keep fighting. The victory is on its way. There are moments in our lives when everything seems to align perfectly, and the blessings we've been praying for and waiting for finally begin to unfold before us. In these moments, It's essential to recognize the divine timing at play, to see the hand of God orchestrating everything, bringing everything together in ways that we may not fully understand at the time. But it's in these moments of clarity and realization that we often forget something crucial, that we don't have to chase after the blessings that are meant for us. They will come to us when the time is right, and we don't need to force or rush them. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need to make things happen on our own, that we have to take control and move mountains by sheer force of will. But the reality is, while action is important, there's also a power in surrender. There's a profound peace that comes from knowing that what's meant for you is already on its way, and that no amount of stress or anxiety will hasten its arrival. Sometimes the best thing you can do is trust the process, step back, and allow the universe to work in its perfect rhythm. You don't need to chase after your destiny because it's already chasing after you. The blessings that are meant for you are already moving in your direction, already aligning with your life in ways that you cannot see. God in his infinite wisdom has already set everything in motion. There are people, opportunities, and resources that are on their way to you right now, and they are being prepared in the right time and place. Your job is not to chase them. It's about being ready, open, and willing to accept the blessings that are already racing toward you. Imagine a runner on a track. The runner doesn't chase after the finish line. Instead, the finish line comes toward the runner as they make strides. They don't have to speed up or slow down to catch it. They simply keep moving forward, and the finish line moves toward them as they progress along the path. Similarly, the blessings you've been praying for, the things you've been longing for, are already on their way. It's not about chasing them, it's about staying on course, walking in faith, and trusting that the things you need will meet you at the perfect time. There's a reason why certain things take time to manifest. In many cases, it's because the process of waiting is preparing you for the gift itself. You might not understand why things aren't moving as quickly as you would like, but that waiting period is part of the refinement process. It's like a sculptor chiseling away at a piece of marble. The final product, a beautiful statue, emerges only after careful, patient work. The sculptor doesn't rush the process. They allow the stone to reveal its beauty at the right time. In the same way, you are being refined, prepared, and shaped for the blessings that are on their way to you. It's in the waiting, the trusting, and the faith that you are being shaped into someone who can receive those blessings with gratitude and grace. You may have dreams, desires, and aspirations that feel so far off, but it's important to remember that the journey toward those dreams is just as important as the destination. Every step you take, every choice you make, and every lesson you learn along the way is preparing you for the moment when your blessings come into full view. You might feel like you're not getting closer to what you want, but in reality, you're getting closer to the person you need to be to fully embrace and appreciate what's coming. The people and opportunities you need are already moving toward you as well. Sometimes we think we have to make every connection, meet every person, and network relentlessly to get where we want to go. But what if I told you that the right people will find their way to you when the time is right? What if you didn't have to chase after them, but instead just trusted that the right people would come into your life at exactly the right moment? Often the most meaningful connections happen when we least expect them. People come into our lives at just the right time to open doors, offer support, or provide guidance. You don't have to chase after these connections. They're already racing towards you, just as your blessings are. Trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way requires a deep level of faith. It's a belief that what you've been working toward, praying for, and hoping for is not a distant dream, but a reality that's slowly being woven into the fabric of your life. It's the understanding that everything happens in its own time, that there is a divine plan unfolding for you, and that you don't need to force in. Instead of pushing or rushing toward your goals, take a step back and allow yourself to be in alignment with what's meant for you. This is not a passive approach. It's an active faith that says, I trust that what's meant for me will come to me at the right time. And in the meantime, I will continue to grow, prepare, and be ready for it. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. The more you try to force things to happen, the more you risk losing sight of the bigger picture. The more you push, the more you might miss the subtle signs and guidance that are leading you toward your blessings. It's not about the frantic pursuit of success, love, or recognition. It's about trusting that those things will come when the time is right, and staying grounded in the knowledge that what's meant for you will find its way to you. So instead of chasing after the blessings, embrace the journey, knowing that your steps are being guided and your blessings are already on their way. Let go of the pressure to make things happen, and instead focus on preparing yourself to receive everything that is meant for you. When you stop chasing, you'll find that the things you've been longing for are suddenly closer than ever.